Welcome to a world where the line between the living and the dead blurs. Tonight we delve into the mystery of phantom funerals, those unsettling specters of mourning that appear without warning. Prepare yourself for 3 chilling tales that will haunt your dreams, stories that will cling to you long after the lights go out. Some secrets are better left buried. Our first tale takes us to Hollow Creek, a town once peaceful and serene, nestled in the heart of the countryside. This tranquility was shattered when the ghostly procession began, a phenomenon that would forever alter the town's fate. It started subtly, almost imperceptibly, with a whisper down a deserted lane, a flicker of movement seen from the corner of the eye. The townsfolk dismissed these as tricks of the mind, but they were harbingers of something far more sinister. Then, one moonless night, the residents witnessed a sight that would forever chill them to the bone. Shadows moved with a purpose, and the air grew colder as if the very essence of fear had descended upon Hollow Creek. It began with the mournful toll of a church bell, a sound that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. The bell, which had not rung in years, now tolled with an eerie resonance that echoed through the empty streets. From the shadows, figures cloaked in darkness emerged, moving with an eerie grace. Their presence was both mesmerizing and terrifying, as if they were performing a macabre dance. At the head of the procession, a spectral figure held aloft a flickering lantern, casting long, dancing shadows that seemed to have a life of their own. The lantern's light was dim, but it pierced the darkness with an unsettling clarity. As the procession drew closer, witnesses swore they could hear the soft murmur of voices, a low, mournful chanting that seemed to come from another world. The voices were indistinct, yet filled with sorrow and longing. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying flowers. It was as if the very ground was mourning, exuding a fragrance of death and decay that clung to the senses. Night after night, the ghostly procession continued, the townsfolk too terrified to venture out. They watched from behind closed windows, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. The once peaceful town of Hollow Creek had become a place of dread. Its streets, once filled with laughter and life, were now silent and empty, haunted by the memories of what had been. Some whispered of a long-forgotten tragedy, a funeral procession lost in a blizzard. They believed the spirits were those who had perished, forever doomed to wander the earth in search of peace. Others spoke of a vengeful spirit, seeking to punish the living for some ancient wrong. This spirit, they said, was the leader of the procession, guiding the lost souls on their nightly march. Whatever the truth, the ghostly procession had cast a pall over Hollow Creek. A dark mist seemed to hang over the town, a constant reminder of the supernatural presence that now dominated their lives. As the nights turned into weeks, the townsfolk grew increasingly desperate. They sought answers, but none were forthcoming. Fear and uncertainty gnawed at their minds, leaving them in a state of perpetual anxiety. Sleep evaded them, haunted by nightmares of the spectral figures. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the wind, seemed to herald the approach of the ghostly procession. One by one, they began to disappear, swallowed by the night. The town's population dwindled, each disappearance adding to the growing sense of dread. The town priest, armed with holy water and a crucifix, attempted to intervene. He prayed fervently, hoping to banish the spirits and restore peace to Hollow Creek. The spectral figures paid him no heed, their mournful march continuing unabated. His prayers seemed to fall on deaf ears, the spirits' resolve unbroken. The ghostly procession continued its nightly march, claiming more and more souls. The town's fate seemed sealed, its future overshadowed by the relentless advance of the spectral figures. Hollow Creek had become a desolate wasteland, a testament to the terrifying power of the unknown. Its streets, once vibrant and full of life, now lay empty and silent, haunted by the echoes of the past. Our second story unfolds in a sprawling Victorian mansion, a place steeped in history and shrouded in mystery. The mansion, with its towering spires and intricate woodwork, stood as a testament to a bygone era, yet it harbored secrets that would send shivers down anyone's spine. The Blackwood family, longtime residents of this grand estate, were haunted by a sinister legacy, the vanishing coffin. This family, known for their wealth and influence, had a dark chapter in their history that few dared to speak of. It all began with strange occurrences that defied explanation. Footsteps echoed through empty halls as if the very walls were whispering secrets of the past. The sound was unmistakable, yet no one could ever find the source. The scent of lilies and damp earth would often fill the air, bringing with it a bone-chilling coldness that seemed to seep into the very soul. It was as if the house itself was mourning, its sorrow palpable in every corner. One evening, the Blackwood family gathered in the drawing room, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on the walls. The atmosphere was tense, filled with an unspoken dread that hung heavy in the air. Their patriarch, Edward, was visibly shaken. His usually composed demeanor was replaced with a look of sheer terror, his hands trembling as he tried to steady himself. "There's something in this house," he confessed, his voice trembling with fear. The words hung in the air, sending a chill down the spines of everyone present. Later that night, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, echoing through the dark hallways. It was a sound that would haunt their dreams for nights to come. Emily, cowering in her bedroom doorway, pointed to a coffin that had appeared out of thin air. Her eyes were wide with terror, her body shaking uncontrollably. Edward cautiously approached the coffin, his heart pounding in his chest. Each step felt like an eternity, the air thick with anticipation and fear. His hand trembled as he touched its cold, smooth surface. The chill of the coffin seemed to seep into his bones, freezing him in place. A low, guttural growl emanated from within, a sound so unnatural it sent a wave of terror through the room. It was as if the coffin itself was alive, harboring a dark and malevolent force. The growl sent a wave of terror through the room, causing everyone to recoil in fear. The atmosphere was thick with panic, each person feeling the weight of the unknown pressing down on them. Then, as mysteriously as it had appeared, the coffin vanished, leaving behind only an eerie silence and a lingering sense of dread. The room felt emptier than before, the sense of dread hanging in the air like a thick fog. It was a silence that spoke volumes, a reminder of the terror that had just unfolded. News of the vanishing coffin spread quickly, each retelling amplifying the fear and adding new layers to the already chilling tale. The community was gripped by fear, their imaginations running wild with thoughts of what could be causing such supernatural occurrences. Night after night, the coffin continued to appear and disappear, taunting the Blackwood family and driving them to the brink of madness. It was a relentless haunting that offered no respite. Desperate for answers, Edward sought the help of a renowned paranormal investigator, Professor Eldridge. Known for his expertise in the supernatural, Eldridge was their last hope. Eldridge, with his array of instruments, set about investigating the strange occurrences. He meticulously documented every detail, hoping to find a pattern or clue that would explain the phenomena. As days turned into weeks, Eldridge found himself drawn deeper into the mystery. The more he uncovered, the more questions arose, each one more perplexing than the last. The coffin appeared and disappeared at will, its presence marked by a chilling coldness and the faint scent of decay. It was as if the very fabric of reality was being manipulated. The scent of decay lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the death and darkness that surrounded the coffin. It was a smell that clung to everything, impossible to escape. One night, Eldridge saw the coffin materialize before his very eyes. He cautiously approached it, his heart racing with a mix of fear and curiosity. As he reached out to touch its surface, he felt a surge of energy, a force that seemed to pulse through the air. The coffin vanished, leaving him standing in stunned silence. Eldridge was left shaken and disoriented, his mind reeling from the experience. He had encountered many supernatural phenomena in his career, but nothing like this. Despite his best efforts, Eldridge could find no rational explanation for the vanishing coffin. His notes were filled with observations and theories, but none that could definitively solve the mystery. The Blackwood family, their lives turned upside down, were forced to abandon their ancestral home. The mansion stood empty, a silent witness to the horrors that had unfolded within its walls. The once grand mansion now stood as a testament to the unknown, its empty halls echoing with the memories of a family driven away by fear. The vanishing coffin remained an unsolved mystery. The Blackwood family left, but the haunting presence lingered, a dark shadow over the mansion. The mansion, once filled with life and laughter, was now a chilling, empty house, a place where the past refused to rest. The mansion, once grand, now a chilling reminder of the darkness within. Its walls, now crumbling, held secrets that were best left undisturbed. Some secrets, it seems, are best left buried. The vanishing coffin, a tale of terror and the unknown, remains one of the most chilling mysteries of the Blackwood legacy. The vanishing coffin, a tale of terror and the unknown, continues to haunt the memories of those who dare to remember. Our final tale takes us to the fog-shrouded streets of Victorian London, haunted by the legend of the phantom pallbearers. These spectral figures have been the subject of countless stories, whispered in the dark corners of pubs and around flickering candlelight. The story begins in the dead of night, the cobblestone streets deserted. The air was thick with fog, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. A young constable, making his rounds, witnessed a chilling sight. He had heard the tales, but never believed them until that fateful night. A procession approached through the swirling mist, but there was no hearse, no coffin, no mourners. It was as if the very air carried the weight of an unseen burden. 6 figures, tall and skeletal, shrouded in long black cloaks, moved with an eerie grace. Their presence was both mesmerizing and terrifying. Despite the lack of a physical coffin, the constable sensed its presence, a heavy, oppressive weight in the air. It was as if the very essence of death was being carried through the streets. Curiosity got the better of him, and he followed the procession. Each step he took was filled with a mix of dread and fascination. The figures seemed to glide above the ground, their movements fluid and effortless. It was as if they were not bound by the laws of the physical world. The constable followed for what felt like hours through deserted streets. The city, usually bustling with life, seemed to hold its breath in the presence of these otherworldly beings. Finally, the procession halted in front of a large cemetery. The gates, old and wrought iron, creaked open as if welcoming the spectral visitors. The figures passed through the gates, disappearing into the shadows. The constable hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. The constable, trembling with fear, cautiously approached the gates. He felt an overwhelming sense of foreboding, yet he couldn't turn away. The procession had vanished, leaving behind an eerie silence. The cemetery was empty, but the air was thick with the remnants of their presence. The constable tried to rationalize what he had seen, but deep down, he knew the truth. This was no ordinary occurrence. It was a glimpse into the supernatural. The phantom pallbearers were real, a glimpse into a world beyond the veil of death. They were a reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. The legend spread throughout London, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. People spoke of the phantom pallbearers with a mix of fear and reverence. Some dismissed it as superstition, but others knew the truth. They had seen the look in the constable's eyes, the haunted expression that spoke volumes. The phantom pallbearers, a harbinger of death, a chilling reminder of the thin line between the living and the dead. Their legend endures, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. These stories remind us that some mysteries are better left unsolved. The world is full of wonders, both beautiful and terrifying. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. If you enjoyed these tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-chilling stories. The night is young, and there are many more tales to be told. But be warned, once you step into the shadows, there's no turning back.